Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is now time for This Week in Geek. As always, I don't know what the date is.
The 21st?
21st. All right, it's February 21st. It's Valentine's Day. No, it's not. We missed that week, so we're going to have a big booty of news to do here. So, I say, we got to introduce ourselves. I am just scatterbrained tonight. I am rambunctious Rob Southgate. No, I'm Rob Southgate. With me is
Edward Lee.
And
Alil Kanitsa.
Not apocalyptic Alil like you were this week.
Not this week, yeah.
All right, so what we're doing, guys, is we're doing This Week in Geek. If you haven't heard this show before, basically what we do, I think the name is pretty self-explanatory. We run down this week's geek news, movies, TVs, things like that, TVs. All right, everyone leave me alone.
No.
So I want to.
You have multiple TVs and they're showing different things.
I want to start it off because we missed last week, and I'm going to throw the elephant in the room right out there. The bomb Spider-Man.
I thought we would just skip this.
No, we're not skipping it because we didn't talk
black
about
hole.
it.
All right.
No, we're not going to let it be a black hole. We're only going to talk about it for a few minutes. But Spider-Man is Sony and Disney made a deal to bring Spider-Man back into the MCU.
Correct.
Somewhat.
Yes. The deal, not $1 exchange hands. Basically,
Sounds like one of our shows.
that is true. I was going to say that.
Hey, we got one!
Not $1 exchange hands. What happens here basically is Sony said, Marvel, can you help us fix Spider-Man? We'll let him play in your sandbox. And
Right.
Marvel said, let's do it.
Which is what we were saying for months.
Yep.
It's the best possible move they could make.
Right.
Because them being able to use Spider-Man, now they have that really important character in their arsenal. But for Sony, it's a win-win.
Right, because this is also, with this deal, they've even said that Marvel is going to allow them to use characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into Spider-Man movies. So we could have Iron Man popping up in the next Spider-Man movie.
Can you imagine? Now, I doubt, I can't see Iron Man because of Robert Downey Jr. and his contracts and that.
But you know what? It would be a different contract because it's a different studio. So they say,
he could
give us a quick cameo. Here's a couple $1 million.
Yeah, I think Robert Downey Jr. might take that. You know what? I'll dress up in the Spider-Man outfit for a lot less than that, or the Iron Man outfit. You know what? Anything.
I don't want. Nobody wants to see that.
He'll dress up for money.
I was going. Sure. Why not? Alil, would you? You in for that?
I don't need money to dress up. I'll just dress up.
Edward?
No.
Apparently, you're not dressed up tonight. I can tell.
I'm still underage, so
okay.
I don't want to get in between.
Whoa.
Yeah, wait a minute.
We're not going anywhere weird here. We're just saying, hey, wear a costume.
And actually, I think you have to sit 20 feet from Alil just by saying that.
Yes.
There is a court order. So I am super hyped about this idea. I think this is the best of all possible situations.
I think
it opens the door.
It is for Sony, and it does open that door. I mean, rumors came out that right after this that Marvel actually offered Sony $2.5 billion to buy back Spider-Man.
$2.5 billion.
$2.5 billion with a B.
You know what? It's because of that Star Wars thing. They're just all like billions.
Yeah, to them, it's nothing. They've made the Marvel money back already.
I know a
tenfold.
little fledgling podcast company that for $1 billion Disney could have.
Disney, I'll sell you even mine for cheaper. $1.
$1, yeah. Well, so, okay, as far as it opening the door, there were a lot of rumors, and there's just always rumors, but I wonder if this works the way we think it will, and the way I'm sure Disney and Sony are hoping it will, do you think there's any inkling that it could happen with Fox?
No.
Yeah.
You say no, you say
I
yes.
say yes.
You know me, I'm usually like, mark my words, it's going to happen. I do think it could happen, but I think we're talking a few years down the line, because if it's super lucrative for Sony, it would be a different deal. I don't think they want Marvel dictating anything, but if they could make a deal where they do a little cross talk, I think that might be really good.
I think that the opportunity for this was lost because Fox had their bombs with the X-Men and Fantastic Four in the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, but
before
Marvel wasn't ready.
Exactly, before Marvel was ready. And now they're back.
Yeah,
Fox
they're back,
thinks
but
they're back, and that's the thing. And
they're back, but are they?
Well, you know what?
Two good X-Men movies does not mean you're back. You got to tell me, once we get into this, once we see what Deadpool is like, once we see what the Fantastic Four is actually like, I'm actually on board for Fantastic Four. But if they can't make this cohesive and they can't bleed this all together, then you know what? That door is not getting shut yet. And I could see them making a deal, not for all of it, but for Wolverine. You give us Wolverine, you let us put him in Infinity War, and you can have a couple of our guys to play in your sandbox. Suddenly it gets really interesting.
And that's fine, and I agree with that because Hugh Jackman. I think Hugh Jackman is the wild card here because he wants this.
He wants it, right?
And he just did an interview today.
No, you know what he needs to do? You know what he needs to do? I'll tell you right now, and then you can tell what his interview is. He needs to do that storyline of old
man Logan.
Wolverine,
Old Man Logan,
old man Logan for Marvel as kind of like as a Marvel Fox deal. Old Man Logan, let it be something where the Marvel characters come into it, but it's not affecting their X-Men franchises. That's what needs to happen.
Well,
Edward, make it happen. Come on.
Well,
That would work, but you'd have to wait a few years to get Wolverine older.
oh,
But
there's
then
not
makeup.
really.
There's makeup and process. He's already in his 50s.
Did you see him in that last movie? He's looking old.
But how many
That's
more
saying
movies
something.
do you
Yeah,
think?
right.
How many more movies do you think Hugh Jackman will be able to do for Fox if he's doing movies for Marvel?
No, he would only do, I'm saying one.
Yeah.
Old Man Logan. I'm
Okay.
saying one.
Well, in the interview that
And he's not going to do that many more for Fox.
no, this is the interview. He said he wants to play Wolverine until he dies.
Shut up.
He did. He said he said that this is an opportunity for a character that and the thing is he can continue to play him as he ages because of Old Man Logan's storyline. We've had an older Wolverine here.
Well, then
and
I
he
think-
can do that. He doesn't have to be
I think they'd be smart to have a younger Wolverine then that they can do this with.
flip-flop.
Yes.
And there was talks of that too because for the last X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, if who directed Kingsman? I'm drawing up like on his
Vaughn.
name. Matthew Vaughn said that if he was the one still directing it, because he chose to direct Kingsman first.
Right.
If he was the one directing it, he would have actually recasted Wolverine as a younger Wolverine, but
Right.
had Hugh Jackman playing in the future.
Yes.
And then they would have used this Wolverine for X-Men Apocalypse.
He also wasn't going to use Quicksilver. He was going to use Juggernaut.
Right, as Juggernaut falling through the
Which-
Pentagon.
Juggernaut with what's his name playing Juggernaut? Yeah, I'm all about that. Because he was wasted in that movie where he was Juggernaut.
Oh yeah, no, he needs to come back at the same age.
Vinnie Jones. That's his name. He'd be awesome. They need to bring him back. Bring everybody back.
Why not?
Yes, the guy from Gallivant. He played Gareth. Way to go, Molly. 10 points to Molly.
It's not trivia night. It's next week. No.
Next week.
But with that, here's my theory on how they can do this.
Okay.
Hugh Jackman is a huge player for the X-Men universe.
Yes.
If Hugh Jackman goes up to Fox and says, "Let me get into this realm to represent our world,"
Yeah.
they can bring him in into like an alternate timeline situation,
which they're not afraid to do.
No, but they've already established that the Doctor Strange movie is going to open up these portals. Could you imagine an end-credit scene
they do it.
with Doctor Strange opening up a portal and Hugh Jackman walks right through it,
and Howard the Duck comes right after it?
I'll take that. I'll take that as well. As long as it's
Spider-Ham.
As long as it's the Howard the Duck we saw in the '80s, not this last one from Guardians.
Ed Gale plays that.
That's right.
And he meets the new Howard the Duck.
No, Gwen Spider after that.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen right after that.
Yes.
Why
aren't they putting us in charge of this? We have good ideas.
Because they'd go bankrupt immediately.
We just greenlit the entire Marvel universe. Sorry, folks.
Done.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Spider-Man. We're getting out of that rabbit hole. I have a really good one. I got to find it on here. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Neil Blomkamp, the guy who directed District 9, and we just watched last night.
You said it right.
You know what? We just watched a good one, Elysium. Have you seen that?
Elysium, yes, with Matthew Damon.
Okay. Once again, Martha falls asleep in movies like this. She fell asleep during the most exciting part about halfway through where I'm like, oh my gosh, and she goes, I got to go to bed. So I haven't seen the ending, but I loved it. Well,
he dies.
A few weeks ago, spoiler, a few weeks ago.
Spoiler, it was all a dream.
Spoiler, he says at the beginning, I've got 2 weeks to live. He dies. So a few weeks ago, we talked about how there was this leaked artwork of his Alien concept art that was amazing. I believe that you and me and you and I believe Chris from Blue Box all like melted into puddles and looked like the T-1000 just kind of turned into a big puddly mess over this idea. It was awesome. You're not agreeing with that. Well, did you read this week?
Yeah, they greenlit.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening. Neil Blomkamp. Okay, so Ridley Scott is producing and directing Prometheus 2.
Right.
And then the movie that takes place after that is The Bridge to Alien, and it's Neil Blomkamp doing this crazy movie.
But is it going to be a bridge? Because he has Sigourney Weaver in his artwork.
In his artwork. I know. That's what I don't understand. I can't.
I'm wondering if
Hicks was in it, in the artwork.
That's right. I'm wondering if they're going to Terminator Genesis this. Where Terminator Genesis
and
right
Matt
now...
Smith will be in it?
Maybe.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
But right now...
Will Smith.
Jaden Smith will be in it? No.
Then I'm out. Jaden Smith's in it, I'm out. And Julia Roberts as well.
Can we talk about Julia Roberts for a minute?
No.
No, okay.
I know where you're going to go.
I know I can't stand Julia Roberts. Anybody out there like Julia Roberts? Your mom. My mom. Okay, what does that tell you?
But again, I loved her in Steel Magnolias. She was terrific.
Yeah. He's got it on Blu-ray and the action figures. Okay, go ahead.
I watch it every night. No, but what I think is maybe they're going to do some kind of alternate timeline where they're involved and it's a prequel to the first, but they're still in it. And it's somehow leading to Ripley to avoid that first movie from happening.
Right. I think actually from the artwork it kind of says that. Like, it seems like it's very futuristic.
Right.
And it would make sense her to come back to time, like Marty McFly and try to correct that thing.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
Alien Under the Sea dance. She goes and stops them.
Alien Hot Tub Time Machine 3. I mean, it's
doesn't that sound great?
No, because I saw the second.
Oh, is it bad?
It's terrible.
Is it? Oh, because the first one's so good.
I know. I was so disappointed last night leaving the theater.
You just had to look at the artwork.
Yeah, but the artwork was bad in the first one, too. It was bad in the first one.
It's just still bad.
You're not allowed to see that. You're a minor, you said. You're not allowed to see that. You cut that out. I'm telling your mom. Is she here?
The artwork? I've still seen the artwork.
I don't know what kind of artwork you're talking about, but inappropriate. No.
Inappropriate. Okay.
Well, I got a story.
You got one. Good, because I got a couple of good ones
So, here. DC.
Yes.
DC, the movie universe. We've got Batman v Superman coming out.
Yeah.
They have just released a photo of Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah.
And the photo also has a kind of a slogan going on it, Unite the Seven.
Right.
Which to me is terrible.
They're
trying to Avengers Assemble it, and it doesn't work.
Let's go back in time. This movie was supposed to be the sequel to Superman. Then
supposed to be Man of Steel 2, yes.
Then it became Batman versus Superman. Now it's become the Dawn of Justice. This is just constantly, you know what they're trying to do. It's so obvious. And frankly, nothing gets me excited here. Where normally this would, like I see Batman, I'm like, yeah, nothing here. And I saw this picture. I want to know what you guys thought of this picture. I thought it looked like 300 meets Scorpion King meets...
Yeah, there's rumors going on the internet.
All sorts of boringness.
There's rumors going on the internet that it's a muted picture on purpose.
Well, yeah,
like
of course it is.
People have kind of tried to highlight the accents to the picture where they're showing the gold and the green and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just don't understand why DC is afraid to have colorful characters. When they do it so well on TV, I love the Flash.
Right.
That show is terrific, and I don't understand why they can't just.
But wait,
just
when
feed off of that.
When they show the Flash for this movie, it'll be muted. It'll be black and white.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think of this, Edward?
It just looks like it's trying to copy the comic book, but trying to be its own self. It's not trying to be either one. It's just trying to incorporate both.
Okay.
Which is weird.
So it's not standing on its own. It's too close to the comic.
It's too
not
close,
the comic.
Yeah, it's too close to multiple comics because they have the earlier one and they have the
later one where he's got the
beard.
Beard right. It does. It looks like a mesh between the two, sort of. And then they had some costumes left over from Clash of the Titans. And they kind of mushed it all together.
They put the best breastplate perfectly on it.
Right. So are you guys into this, or is it like each thing? Because to me, this felt like a disappointment to me. Did anybody see this picture? Anybody see this picture of Aquaman? What did you guys think? Did you like it? Okay. Oh, you didn't know it was happening. Well, you need to come to this show more often because it gets discussed. Anyone else? Did anyone else see this picture? I mean, you mostly liked it. All right.
Why mostly? Why not all the way?
Well, it's like they keep trying to make it look like Batman. They wash it all out. They make it dark.
Well, that's the problem. DC's got one major hit, and they just want to recap Batman and everything. You know, Man of Steel to me felt like Batman Begins. It didn't feel like a Superman movie to me.
Right.
You know, and
it had that feel and that look.
And Marvel does it different. And again, I'm not going into the comparisons because everybody knows I'm a Marvel fanboy. But Marvel's not afraid of it because
does everybody know, Mr. Ego?
Everyone knows.
Okay.
But you know.
Just question the boy part.
mentally, I'm a boy. But yeah, there you go. But even like the Vision coming out in Avengers, I mean, he's yellow, he's red, he's got green, he's bright, he's got
and the little bit that's leaked out there, you can tell what's going on. It's not this. Yeah, I get you.
It's like either they're trying to play with us and like they didn't mute this on purpose, or this is where they're going because I keep seeing fan rendering online where they're like I said,
trying
more
to make
yellows, more greens, which is fine. And I like Jason Momoa a lot, so I'm hoping he succeeds in this role. It's a different take, you know.
I hope it's good because I like all this stuff, but I just every time I see this, like I'm getting less excited, and that's not good. As opposed to just the idea of Spider-Man being in Civil War where I'm passing out, going, oh, this is going to be awesome, because you can see what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, if Spider-Man's in Civil War, I mean, that just threw the gauntlet down for 2016. It's just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be awesome.
You know, we'll get Batman v Superman in March, and then 2 months later, you will get, like...
We'll forget about it because Civil War happens, and it's like, oh, yeah, this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Well, on the other side, the Avengers 2 will be coming out. Then the Superman versus Batman will come. It's
that's okay. It's two different takes. It's just if they're trying to do this whole, I don't know, something is not sitting right here. I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous about Suicide Squad. I'm nervous about this. Although we're not going to do any more comics right now, but we're going to come back to it. I got a couple of good ones here. First of all, let's really take a 90-degree turn here. It was announced this week that the producer of the movie Air Force One, anyone remember Air Force One with Harrison Ford? Okay.
One person.
Wolfgang Peterson directed it.
It was so good.
Two people.
Yeah.
I'm the president.
Two people?
See, that's my Harrison Ford being the president.
You two don't count.
Commander
No,
in
we
Chief.
don't count.
So He has gotten the film and TV rights, I don't know if you guys saw this, to Settlers of Catan.
Wait, what?
You know the game Settlers of Catan? He got the film and TV rights. Now, here's why this is something I want to talk about. First of all, you hear that and you go, what?
That'll be
He's
the best
trading
thing
wheat
ever.
and coal. That's exciting. But when I read what he said about it, he was using that as kind of a starting point, and he was looking at it being more like Game of Thrones, like a bigger story that it involves this trade and all this. And I'm like, you know what? This guy has made some cool stuff. He could do it. This could be cool. We could be like kind of making fun of it right now, and 2 years from now going, I am so into Settlers of Catan.
I'm not making fun of it. That sounds amazing.
That sounds amazing to you. Does that sound amazing to you guys?
Amazing to me.
No, that was a half-hearted yeah. You are just smiling. I don't think you think it's amazing, but you do. What do you think,
I
Alel?
think it's amazing.
I don't watch Game of Thrones yet, so I
Settlers of Catan, you know what that is, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't know, but it could be incredible. This could be one of these things that we walk away from and go, oh my gosh. And that could be, just like we talked about with the Legend of Zelda Netflix show, this could be the one,
well,
this
that's
could
the
be
one
the one
I'm
that
looking forward
works,
to.
that people look at and go, oh wow, you can make movies out of board games in a different way.
Well, to be fair, if they do make this good, there will be a whole rush of movies out of board games.
Yeah, but what games? Like they did Clue.
Monopoly.
they did
Monopoly.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I was about
Make
to go
one of them.
Monopoly is
They did
terrible,
Battle-
and then we
they
saw
did
Boardwalk
Battleship.
Empire, and it was awesome. So, I don't know.
Boo.
Boo. Okay, one more comic book thing. Anybody like Fight Club?
Wait, we don't talk about Fight Club.
That's right. Where's Molly? Molly, what's the first rule of Fight Club? Excellent. What's the second rule of Fight Club? All right, somebody give her a chip and pat her monkey head for that. Very good. What's the third rule? The third rule is children can see it at a Lil's house.
That is true. I have a 60-inch TV.
The reason I bring up Fight Club, the first 6 pages of the comic book sequel to Fight Club are published in, not for kids, in Playboy this month, or some month. Now the reason I bring this up,
you're trying to get a subscription
No,
and get it past your wife. I see how
absolutely
you're.
not.
I see what you're working.
Absolutely not. They printed the pages right here in Joe Blow, so I'm all good. But what's interesting about this is it is the original author. He wrote the comic book sequel. They weren't greenlighting the movie, so he said comics are a visual medium. He wrote it as a comic book so that it could be seen this way. And now people are saying it's so cool. It's such a great concept. They are thinking David Fincher might be on board for a sequel. How crazy is that? Because the idea of this is it takes place years later. Am I spoiling anything? Fight Club, everybody's seen it, right?
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
Why
well, the
am I not
main
surprised?
character, I'm not going to spoil it then, but the main character, it takes place years later, and the other character has been suppressed, we'll say, through them drugging him into this, and it starts to bleed through again, and the chaos comes back.
The chaos
That
ensues.
sounds awesome to me.
Yeah, it sounds good, but I think it kind of loses that flair that first one had.
Well, the first one had the shock,
yeah, I think that.
but everything else around it was so cool. Even without the shock, it was a cool movie, and I think that this could do it. And
right.
let's face it, it's the same author.
Right.
This guy knows how to write a wild story. So, a little, Mr. Negative, I think it's going to be awesome.
I guess
You took my role today. I'm usually a negative.
That's
person.
right. Hey, I got bad news for you, Lil.
All right.
Disney has no plans for making Big Hero 6 2.
Yes. Wait, well, if they make that for Frozen 2, I'm all happy. No Frozen 2.
They are making a Frozen 2.
Gosh dang it.
They are.
Well, they're making they're not. I don't know. Are they doing a full sequel?
I heard they did that short, but I heard they're doing
Short.
it. Yeah, it's Freeze Harder. And that was a joke. That wasn't real. But yes, I heard that more Frozen Part 2.
I think-
Electric Icicle. No, I heard they're not. The Wrath of Snowball. No, they're not doing a. They're not doing a Big Hero 6 2, which I think is a crime. That movie, it ended, you're just like, more, please.
I think they'll go back to it. I think when the DVD sales
are going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
Did everybody see Big Hero 6? Okay, if you didn't,
I didn't see it.
See this movie. We watched it for the first time this week. It is fantastic. And the main character, Baymax, he's not the main character, but no, Baymax is a little cosplays Baymax.
Yeah,
and he is absolutely my wife, Martha. So, because he's a healer and...
I was going to say, where
are you not Baymax? Molly called her Baymom this week. No, I didn't mean the looks. I meant the personality and everything. Yeah, she's Baymom. So
no, Big Hero 6 was terrific. I think it was.
It's not what you think it is. Definitely.
And I think that's the thing. People didn't know what it was.
Right.
And I do think that.
Look at the face Edward's making.
I haven't seen it, and
why don't you want to see it?
It just doesn't look good. The trailers that I've seen, it just
you
doesn't
are
look good.
Just wrong.
Yeah, it is amazing. My kids all love it.
Yeah.
I probably
it's not a
own
kid, I mean, it's a kid's movie. It's appropriate for kids, but
right. But there's adult.
Oh, as an adult, it was,
and it gets a little dark there. I mean,
it sure does. Plus, there's a guy named Kabuki Man in it or something. He's awesome.
Kabuki Man.
Yeah,
because he wears a Kabuki mask.
Yes. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Do you guys? I'm not going to do that one. Lil, you got one while I scan here? Or Soto's Catan news?
Yeah. 1 second here.
I'll steal his. I got it one.
Okay, let's hear it. Good one.
The new Agent 47 Hitman movie.
Yes, the trailer dropped this week.
Yes, the trailer dropped this week.
So, I don't know.
Have you seen the trailer?
I still haven't seen the trailer, and I'm dying to see it.
I did.
Have you seen the trailer, Will?
Did you like it?
We talked about it on my show last week. No, I didn't care for it.
Really?
You didn't care for it, but you did.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, the beginning cutscene just blew me away.
I got a question. Did you like the first one, the original?
No, I didn't care for it either. I didn't.
So what don't you like? Is it the story? Is it the interpretation?
I think a story like Hitman is great in the video games because it's kind of a whole world kind of thing.
Right.
And when you cut it to like a little 2-hour clip, it just doesn't. It doesn't. It seems like it doesn't have a soul. Like this movie seems like all it does is just action for action's sake, and there's no real strong story to it.
That's an issue with video game movies.
I agree.
When they think that it's got to be all the action, but in my mind, when I think about Hitman, I can see that as being a strong story, and a movie could support that. And you had that reaction that you felt it did.
Yeah, it seems like this one is. From the trailer, what I got out of it was there's a hitman who broke off and is doing his own thing.
Right.
That's what it seems like. The company was
a rogue
disbanded,
hitman.
and he was a rogue hitman.
Now, does anybody, first of all,
does anybody even know what Hitman is?
Does anyone know what Hitman is? Yeah. You know Hitman. Anyone else?
No, Hitman is the bald guy. With
you're
the
thinking of, and she's not Asian. You're thinking of The Professional. Yeah, no, it's not The Professional, and
that was an awesome movie.
And she's not Asian. That is
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Yeah, same difference, right? Or you're thinking of The Big Hit. Are you thinking of The Big Hit? Yeah, that's the one with Marky Mark. And it had the girl in the Asian school girl. Yes, okay. No, it's not that. This is the one with the bald man, and he's Agent 47, and it was Timothy Oliphant, who's awesome. Who's the hitman in this one?
The hitman is going to be Robert Fried.
Who's that?
Rupert Fried.
You got the action figure for him?
I do not.
Rupert Friend.
He's from Homeland.
Pride and Prejudice, Homeland.
Oh, he's one of those guys. Okay, well, whatever. I think it's cool. I want to see the trailer. As long as we're talking trailers, I'm going to really shift gears. Everyone thinks we just talk geek stuff. Did you see the trailer for Welcome to Me?
No.
It's a new Kristen Wiig movie, and when it started, I thought, oh, it's indie film, going to get attention because it's an indie film. It kind of had that vibe to it. But the more I watched it, I actually was starting to get really interested. I want to see this. Basically what it is, she's a bipolar woman who, there were 2 bipolar stories this week, by the way. She's a bipolar woman who wins the lottery, okay? And nobody believes her because she, is always making stuff up. And she's like, no, I have like $8 million. She becomes obsessed with Oprah and buys her own TV show. But they don't know she's bipolar. They just think she's this weird eccentric. And it's like this crazy show, but she's all over the board. And at first like I said, I was kind of like, okay, this kind of reeks of those indie movies where it's manipulative. Like, I love indie film, but it can be really manipulative. This, what are you watching there, Edward? I'm telling your mom. It actually looks good. So like I said, it's called Welcome to Me, and it might be good. Yeah, there it is, Kristen Wiig. Okay, so nothing to say about it.
No, nothing to say. I haven't seen it.
Did anybody else see this trailer? All right, I'm encouraging you to see it. I'll get the other bipolar one out here. Mark Ruffalo's in a movie where he plays a bipolar guy. But that one has a funny name.
Avengers?
No! That's
Avengers
just
2?
it. When I saw it, I was like, hey, isn't he the Hulk? I mean, the bipolar guy? No, this movie it's called like The Polar Bear or something. And then you read the description, and it's
such a
like
bad
the
pun.
kid calls him Polar Bear, but he's bipolar. So, opposite of the Kristen Wiig movie, I love Mark Ruffalo, but I was like, oh, this is a Lifetime movie waiting to happen. Is there an invisible child? What's her name that I always make fun of? She's not the one I make fun of. She had the invisible child, but the world's oldest living bridesmaid. Who is that? Donna Douglas, Donna Dixon, who is it? You? Yeah. So that's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, oh man, he's slumming it. Donna Mills. He's going to end up in a movie with Julia Roberts. I can see it. Okay. I'll move ahead then, since you guys didn't see that one either.
No.
Okay. How about a TV show? Have you heard of the show Wayward Pines?
Nope.
Anybody? Okay, one more trailer that I'm going to talk about, and then I'll get off the trailer thing. A trailer dropped for this new show. It's called Wayward Pines. Their slogan is Where Paradise is Home. It's produced by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. And it stars, this is what, I'm watching it kind of looked like Twin Peaks. It's really like a dark cross between Twin Peaks and The Killing, if you ever saw The Killing, which is awesome. But it's starring Matt Dillon. This is like a perfect storm. As I've described before, I start at 5 stars, and you got to work your way back from it. This is at 5 stars right now. Unless Jaden Smith shows up because he wasn't an M. Night Shyamalan movie. This looks awesome. So have you heard of this? Have you seen anything about it?
I haven't. I'm going to have to check that out.
Edward's just sitting here watching trailers. He's like, yeah, this is awesome.
I mean,
watching trailers on mute.
This
movie looks so scary now.
This is the poster. It's upside down. It says A Place to Die For. And they're one of those things where they say it's a TV event. So it's probably going to be like 8 episodes. Yeah, it's probably one of those. But it looks so freaking fantastic when you see the trailer. So I'm all in on this one. Lil, you got something?
I do. Steven Spielberg wants to direct Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones.
Yes. Take my money.
We did, but Spielberg now wants to direct this movie.
Right. We talked about how Chris Pratt, the rumors were out there a couple weeks ago that Chris Pratt was up for Indiana Jones. Now, Spielberg has come forward and said, if Chris Pratt is Indiana Jones,
I want it.
He wants to direct it. He wants to erase Indiana Jones 4 from our memories. I am so into this idea.
Which Indiana Jones was that?
The fourth one. The fourth one's terrible.
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, that was amazing. I love that movie.
You know what?
You would. They made that for you.
Yeah. You know what?
For your age group.
Yeah.
Because we're going to give you Shia LaBeouf.
You know what the problem
swinging
was?
From vines. And
that was a big part of the problem. Shia LaBeouf was the worst.
I know it's Shia.
I didn't know.
I said it on purpose.
He said it that way, and I thought he was right.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that was bad. But you know what? It has George Lucas's fingerprints all over it. He named Sheila Buff Mutt. It was very episode 1-ish with all the CGI. You didn't see it because I didn't see it all the way through. I watched it while I was working one day. Spoiler, I sat and watched movies while I worked.
I was going to say, you work?
Not recently. Back when it came out. It was terrible. But it was George Lucas all the way. And he wouldn't let anybody do rewrites on it. The original script was written by Frank Darabont, and he rejected it. Frank Darabont.
He didn't want his name on it.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
Awful.
Yeah.
So now we're talking Chris Pratt with Spielberg, no more Lucas involved. I am all in.
Yep.
Yes, that would be amazing.
And there'll be crystal skulls for you, Edward.
Great.
That was a good one.
So that's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I got.
Well, it's not all I got. Edward, you got anything before I jump in?
No.
You don't.
I had one thing.
Okay.
And I'm happy.
I'm just going to mention this trailer, and then I'm moving off trailers totally. I'm just so excited for it. Infinitely Polar Bear, first of all, was the Mark Ruffalo thing. I'm going to keep my money on that one. There is a Red Band trailer out for a new Simon Pegg movie. Simon Pegg, always 5 stars, then we work our way back. It's called Kill Me 3 Times. It is dark and violent. He's a hitman. It was very much like a Hitchcocky thing. Like he gets hired, Hitchcocky, I just coined that phrase, hashtag Hitchcocky. He gets hired to assassinate a guy's wife, and then the guy's wife gets killed, fakes her death, and it's like this whole thing. But it looked really violent, and like Tarantino meets Simon Pegg. I am so in on that.
I have not seen or
Don't
heard
you
of it,
guys
but that
look at the
sounds
internet?
good.
You've got to quit your job.
I'm sorry, I have to work.
Edward, you're not allowed. It's Red Band.
I have school, so don't look at me.
All right. 2 big TV announcements this week, or in the last 2 weeks, which may or may not be big. I'm actually excited for both of them. First of all, DC is now tapping into its Vertigo line. It looks like there is a new TV series coming based on the book Lucifer, which is Neil Gaiman, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
And it has ties to the Sandman books. So the idea of Lucifer is Lucifer leaves hell and moves to like Vegas and starts working. Right, exactly. But works with the police to try to capture the worst of the worst because he's reaping them. So it's like this really interesting. The comic, the comic is really good. I don't know if this is going to fly as a TV show, but I'm in. It's Neil Gaiman. It's in this. It's got that little Sandman-y thing going on. This last week I had to fill in on a podcast for Constantine. Did anybody watch Constantine? Yeah. Did you like it? The last half was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah, once it got to the last half of the series, it got really good. Well, this Lucifer, I have hopes that maybe they're going to do a little world building there because he would cross over.
Did they talk about who's picking this up?
No. So the speculation is it's Warner Brothers is producing it. There's no way this is a WB show.
No.
There's no way.
Unless they want to make them all pretty.
So it could either go to NBC and become something like a companion piece of Constantine if they keep Constantine, or I actually think it's wiser if they take this, if Constantine goes to Sci-Fi, which is the big rumor.
Oh, really?
They put it on Sci-Fi with the big budget and make a companion thing. Suddenly, I'm watching Sci-Fi every week.
Well, you're already watching sci-fi because isn't
Sharktopus is only on once a year.
Alien Apocalypse with Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. Amazing. I haven't watched Helix. Does anybody watch Helix?
I tried for a while.
I heard Helix. Well, we watched the first episode. It was terrible. But
I watched the first 4. And
I've heard that now it's kind of must-see TV because it's so insane that, it's like almost terrible and amazing all at the same time, which is, that's my recipe. I like that. Kind of like these shows.
Yes. More terrible.
More terrible than amazing.
more terrible and chaotic.
Yeah, right. Okay, we're running out of time. We got a couple more. Did we miss anything? Is there any big geek news anyone wants to shout out? No? Okay. Well, I've got a couple more that I wanted to highlight, but I can't find them on here. Let's see. I don't want to talk about Mark Ruffalo or Juggernaut again. Anybody watching Better Call Saul? That's lighting it up. That was big news this week that they're just really happy, and it looks like we've got another Breaking Bad that's going to continue for 5 years. Let's all hope that's true. Yeah. A new bra? Oh, a new router. I was going to say, Cheryl, it's not that type of show.
How
so
do
you got a new router. Well, that is geeky. Well, congratulations.
How does he get?
Oh, I got one. There's been motion on the Space Invaders movie. Okay, you made a face. You're making a face. Here's the deal. I wasn't into it, and I thought it was going to be dead. Like, we talked about it before, like, oh, there's a Space Invaders movie. This is going to be terrible. But here's the interesting thing. They hired a writer, and the writer is interesting. He's writing a movie called Yellowstone Falls, which is about wolves, werewolves versus zombies. That's 5 stars. And he's done stuff with Robert Zemeckis. Robert Zemeckis is going to produce it. Suddenly, Robert Zemeckis producing a Space Invaders. Now, yeah, you think about it, you're like, okay, this is going to be another
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. But it might not be. This actually might be cool.
Is it different than Space Invaders?
Oh, Space Invaders. Well played, sir. Wasn't that...
Sir?
What's his name? Randy Quaid was in that. Wasn't he in that? Did you see that video of him this week where he had the big beard?
Oh, I saw that video.
Don't watch the video.
Randy Quaid.
Off the deep end. Yeah, he has gone off the reservation. Faux show. I think that's it. You know what? I had other things, but I'm just not coming up with them here. I'm going to end it. Are you guys done?
We're good.
I'm done.
That's it. Thank you for listening to This Week in Geek, everybody. We'll be back next week with more geek news. Thank you, Blue Box. It's awesome here. Let's hear it for the Blue Box.
Woo-hoo! Yay!
Have a good night, everybody.